What up, though? It's your girl TeeDaWarrior, and I'm back with another video. Now, today we are having grilled shrimp, spicy sausage with cukes, lemon rain, and my beloved sauce. Yes, I cannot wait to get into this. I cannot wait to get into this. All right, anyway, so without further ado, let's get into it. Now, what y'all been up to? How y'all been? I know we don't really need it. I've been doing good. I'm really excited because my child is home visiting me. I've missed him very much. Oh, yes. Letting that marinate in the fridge? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. The freshness of that cucumber. So good. Spicy sausage. Or beloved sauce. It's nice and juicy. Mm. Mm. So did y'all see Tom and Jerry? Tom and Jerry movie? I actually really enjoyed it. I've always been a Tom and Jerry fan. I definitely used to watch that cartoon when I was little. And when I saw that they made a movie, I just couldn't believe it. But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But there is one part of the movie, well, in the beginning I noticed it right offhand, that I was shocked. It kind of, I was taken aback by it. But in the movie, Tom and Jerry are cartoons. They're still like what we saw when we were kids, the 30-minute segments of cartoons. But the rest of everything around them was like real world, like real, not cartoon. So that took a little bit of, you know, getting used to, but it didn't take long. A few minutes into the movie, I was already used to seeing them as the only ones as being cartoon figures and everybody else being like real life. It was kind of weird, but it was cool, you know. It didn't take away from me liking the movie, so. I grilled this shrimp to perfection. Look at that. Yes. But really, when I saw that it was a Tom and Jerry movie, I was like, oh yes. I was thinking it was going to be like a cartoon. But they were still cartoons, but not everybody else. So I was like, oh, okay. Maybe, you know, my expectations were a little bit different. Excuse me. Let's get that lemon rain. The shrimp was so good. I put Sazon on them. Cayenne pepper. Some hot Old Bay. I think that was it. Bomb. I guess I should have bought a knife. Right to the sausage. Guys, Jerry is always up to his same little tricks in the movie. Spicy sauce is good. So what are some of your favorite cartoons that you watched when you were a kid? Mine was definitely Tom and Jerry, the Flintstones, the Jetsons. I can't remember the name of this one, but they were dinosaurs. Was it dinosaurs? That was the cutest cartoon to me. So cute. I love the animated dinosaurs. What else I used to watch all the time? Yeah, and then like a few years later, maybe like I'm gonna say about 10 years later, I did enjoy watching the Rugrats. Tom and Jerry, the Flintstones. Oh my gosh. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. I know I'm leaving some out. But that's just right off the top of my head. Ones that I used to watch every day. Those are the ones I used to watch nearly every day. Lemon juice going everywhere. Now I'm thinking about all the cartoons I used to like. I'm starting to think about all the movies. Let's see, Little Monsters. I used to watch that over and over. I have the DVD. All these movies I'm about to name you, I still have the DVD, guys. I have a huge DVD collection. Some classics that I like are Flowers in the Attic, Mommy Dearest, Beetlejuice, The Legend of Billie Jean, my fave, Teen Witch. Oh, yes, I love that movie. Let's see. There's so many. What else can I think of? My mind is, you know how your mind go blank as soon as you want to say something, but as soon as that conversation is over, it all comes rushing back and you remember everything. Next time I'm going to make a list and write it down so I won't forget. But yeah, that's what we do. We have movie night. We each pick a movie. And we get something to eat. Plenty of snacks and drinks, whatever we're going to have. And we really just lay around for like a full day just watching movies and just old movies that we like and just explaining parts that the other don't understand. Like, it's relaxing for me. To have a movie night at home, man, I'm happy. I know y'all like, dang, that's so boring, but I love it. I love it. So, think about all the movies, cartoons that you like from the 80s. I guess we'll include the 90s, since I already did with Rugrats. From the 80s and 90s. Oh my gosh. I don't know about y'all, but my favorite time in my life was the late 80s. And I know y'all like, what? That was just my favorite time in my life. And I've done quite a bit since then. Been quite a bit to many places and done some things. But it was all about the whole vibe of the 80s. Families being more cohesive. Being able to run around and play with my cousins. The only time I could stay outside after the street lights came on was when I was hanging with my cousins. So I used to love that time. These sausages are thick, y'all. Guys, I would never be able to name a favorite movie of all time. I wouldn't be able to name one. Because I have several. But one of the biggest movies that I love is Friday. Yes. I don't care if you've watched that movie 100 times. I've probably watched it 100,000 times. I don't know, somewhere close to that. But every time I watch it, I notice something new. And it's like you used to watch this movie over and over. You remember when it was on VHS, on the tape? And you just put it in and you rewind it back and just play it again. I used to love that movie so much. And I'm going to say that movie was a good 10 years old before I realized that when she was on the phone with Craig, like, you know, asking him who he was at the show with that last night before or something like that. She was asking him something. And the whole time she was talking on the phone to him, it was a dude laying in the bed, on the back side of the bed behind her. It took me 10 years to realize that. 10 years to see that. And I watched that movie all the time. Daily. No line for line. Everybody lying. Isn't that weird? But that's why I like watching them. Because I always notice something different about the movie. Because I love that movie so much, it's like I don't mind watching it over and over and be like, really? But yeah, it's Friday. I love that movie. It's never gonna play out. Never ever. And this one isn't from like back in the 90s. Or was it? Hold on. I don't remember. Anyway, I love the movie Norbit. I know y'all gonna be like, what? But I'm telling you, like, it's so many just innuendos and just hidden jokes in that movie that only certain people will understand and catch. I love that movie Norbit. I know all the words. It is hilarious to watch. Even to this day. How can you watch a movie over 100 times and still laugh like you've never seen it before? That's how you can tell you love a movie. That's how you can tell. But man, I love watching Norbit. Like when I first moved into my house, all my DVDs were packed up in a box. And I couldn't get to like all my fave DVDs that I like to watch. So I would pay $3.99 to rent this movie from the cable company just so I can watch it and I wouldn't have to like go through the boxes and find the DVD. Is that lazy? Man, I had a lot of boxes to go through. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. And then I didn't know which box the DVDs were in because I didn't pack this stuff. So, yeah. It was crazy, but man, I love that movie. I watch it over and over and over. Let me see. Another movie that I like to watch. Why Did I Get Married? That movie's so real. It's crazy. My favorite scene of that movie was when they were all at the table. And everybody had to face, you know, their little marital issue. That was the best scene of the whole movie. Because it was real life. Married people go through stuff. And that movie is telling it all. Telling it all. But yeah, I will watch that movie over and over as well. I don't know, I guess I could consider myself a movie buff. But I don't know if I'm actually a buff. Because I don't like remember every year who the director was and, you know, all of the cast names. You know, I may not remember all of that stuff. But I've watched quite a lot of movies in my time. I just love watching, you know, movies, especially older movies from like the 80s. I will literally pick up my remote for the cable and just say 80s movies into the remote and see what comes up. That's what I want to see. It keeps me in a time, keeps me in a place where I was happy and I felt like my life overall was good. Not to say that right now I'm not in that space, but just watching these movies just takes you back to that time. You remember every little detail of your life at that time. So yeah. I can go on and on talking about what movies I like. I have a lot of movies from the Criterion collection. I like to watch those type of movies. The only type of movie that I really, I ain't gonna say I don't like, but it's the least preferred. Should I put it like that? I will watch this type of movie, but it's the least preferred, and that's like horror movies. Some of these horror movies, you can't get out your head, honey. I'd be like, oh my God. Like, it's crazy, but I've seen all of the Saw movies. I've saw all of those, the whole, I think it's like 6, 7, I don't know, like 7 different versions. I've saw them all. I think I got them on DVD too. And I had to do a lot of covering my face while watching those movies and just closing my eyes and just cringing and wincing like, oh my God, because it's just, you're looking at something, you're like, oh, I can't watch it. I can't bear it. Like, yes. Movies that I was afraid of when I was a kid, like Halloween, Freddy Krueger, stuff like that. I'm not afraid of those movies anymore. Like, I watch them and be like, oh yeah. And then how you watch the movie that's like that was, done in the 80s, and it doesn't look realistic to you anymore. You're like, that was so fake. Like, but at the time, it was the most realistic thing you've ever seen. I love just doing that comparison. So yes, movie buff I am. Well, I consider myself to be. And I watch all kinds of movies, so I'm not just like certain ones. Boomerang was another movie that I loved from the 80s. I'm trying to think of something else. You know how you have it on the tip of your tongue and you like, I cannot remember. Yeah. So everybody in the comment section, drop the name of your favorite childhood. I'm not gonna say 80s. 80s was my childhood, but for y'all it might not be. So drop down your favorite childhood movies and cartoons. My list is long. I can't name one or two. I love some Beetlejuice. When that movie would come on, my mom hated it. She hated if I knew it was coming on because she knew I was going to want to see it. She was going to have to sit through it once again. So I remember one time I was in my room playing, and the movie was on, and she was in her room. All she did was turn the volume all the way up on her TV, and I heard like one line of the movie. It just flew in there like, oh my God, it's on, like, a movie that you love so much, it doesn't matter at what point the movie is at. If you hear one line, you already know what the movie is and what part it's at and everything, yes, that's where I am with that. I love that movie, Beetlejuice, so much. Little Monsters, that was so cute to me. I loved that movie when I was young. It's a lot of them out there. It's a lot. None to be nameless. Y'all, this butter catching me. Excuse me. Yes, honey, this butter is catching. I can't get all this down. Hold on, let me get some lemon rain. Let me get that lemon rain on there. It's so much better. It's gonna be my last one. I'm full. I really just thought I could knock this out. I was bigger in my stomach. Always have been. This shrimp was a bomb though. I cooked these perfect. Start dancing and humming, you fool. You fool. Dancing and humming because I'm full. Let me get that onion. Onion. I was to tell y'all. I am full. Well, anyway, yes, y'all. Make sure you let a chick know what's your favorite movies to watch. Because you know what? I will go and check a movie out fast. I love movies, okay? I will go check your movie out. That's what I do. So, if you enjoyed this video as much as I did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, girl. Share this video. Share it with all your friends. And just remember that to the world, you may be one person. But to one person, you may be the world. Love and light.